inspirational reading this morning comes to us from the Daily Word. You all know this publication. It's put out by Unity. And on Mother's Day, they have such a beautiful one. I bless all mothers with thoughts of gratitude. There's nothing quite like a mother's love, so nurturing, caring, and warm. Today I bless the women in my life who express this love in all they do, whether it's a woman who has raised me or any other woman I know who so generously shared a mother's love. I felt the care of God through their tender touch and encouraging words. Over the years, I have grown strong and confident under their kind direction and have relied upon their wisdom. The divine feminine flourishes on earth in the loving words and caring hands of mothers and all those who share a mother's love. I bless them and pray they know the love of God as they have shared it so generously with me. And then from 2 Kings 4:30, then the mother of the child said, "As the Lord lives and as you yourself live, I will not leave without you." Thank you, God. So the mother resides within us. Our speaker today has definitely shared mother's love with so many of us. She is a leader teacher. She is a loving teacher, from what I understand, and she is a guest speaker for us today. She's going to be talking to us on giving thanks for the gifts of the Divine Mother. Please help me welcome leader teacher, inner Christ counselor, Jennifer Allen-Prather.
It's such a privilege to be here. I consider it a great privilege.
We do too.
Giving thanks for the gifts of the Divine Mother. What a wonderful topic. Well, my esteemed colleague, Reverend Marianne Kelley, gave some wonderful explanations of what a Divine Mother is and can be. I'm going to probably repeat a few and then add on to that. So the Divine Mother. It's a concept in yogic and Hindu philosophy, the feminine aspect of the primal creator of the universe or spiritual spark of life. Spark of life. I love that. In Hinduism, the Divine Mother may also be used as a term to refer to several goddesses, such as Adi Parashakti, and I'm not good at pronouncing these, but anyway, I'll give it a try. Bhagavati. And of course, in the Christian religion, Mother Mary is the Divine Mother for the Christian religion. And I love this quote by Madison Alcedo. Madison says, "A mother is she who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take." Let that sink in. So true. Now, giving thanks for the gifts of the Divine Mother. Those are qualities, in my mind. Qualities of the divine feminine. And so I wrote down a few that came to me, and they're unending, but these few kind of just came to me. Gratitude for the gift of unconditional love. And not until my own mother passed, I didn't really know how much that meant until I read a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul for Mothers and Daughters. And I got it while I was in a garage sale, and I picked it up and I was attracted to it, and it had such an incredible explanation of unconditional love that it made me weep. And I hadn't wept for my mother for a long time. unconditional love. Then the gratitude for the gift of healing. How many times have we had our mothers heal us just by hugging? You know, one time my mother had me on her lap, and the room was dark, and the Christmas tree was all lit up with those bubble lights and the pretty colors, and it was warm, and I was in her embrace, and she was feeding me soup because I had the appearance of a cold. That's one of the best memories of my mother's healing and love and comfort. Gratitude for the gift of compassion. Most mothers do have compassion, and that is very much a quality of the Divine Mother. Feeling compassion for everyone, not just the children, but everyone. Gratitude for the gift of unending praise. I can remember it didn't matter what I did because I was an only child. My mother praised everything, you know. My first visit to the bathroom, that was praised when I was little.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. That first time I learned how to skate. I mean, everything I did, she praised. She was always lifting me up, and that's what the Divine Mother does. Gratitude for the gift of respect. I felt my mother's respect for life and for others and for me. And so I respect others, and I respect life. She was a great role model. Gratitude for the gift of values. The values that she set for me through example of kindness and love and making great choices and wisdom. That will never leave me. Gratitude for the gift of strength. My mother, and all mothers as far as I'm concerned. It takes strength to raise a child or several children. And gratitude for the gift of understanding. Who doesn't want to be understood? It's validation for who we are when we're understood. Our lives embody the qualities of the Divine Mother. We embody those qualities, all those qualities and more. Think of these qualities in your own life. Through the people, both men and women, because men have that feminine side, who have exhibited these qualities and made them memorable to you. It could have been a mother, a teacher, a mentor, anyone in your life, a friend. I had one particular person in mind. She was pivotal in my life because she was the co-founder of the Teaching of the Inner Christ. Her name is Dr. Ann Meyer McKeever. And she made a difference to the world. In her book, Who is With Me? How a New Teaching Came to the Earth by Ann Meyer McKeever. I helped to type this manuscript, and as I was typing it, I was being healed and lifted as I was typing it. What an incredible life this woman led. What an incredible amount of strength, compassion, love she had for the world, that she brought this teaching onto the earth through her own choice. She was given the choice by the Master Babaji when she sat in the Russ Auditorium many years ago in the 1960s. She was given this teaching telepathically through the Yogi Christ Babaji, who was an ancient master come to the earth to help establish this teaching through Dr. Ann Meyer McKeever and Peter Meyer. They established this beautiful teaching that allowed everyone to access their own inner divinity in a positive, physical, spiritual way, with a signal that allowed them to know that they were never going to be alone again. This was the mother of TIC, and she still is. And she still comes to many of us. And she went through so much And I want to just read a few things in this book that are amazing to me. The first one is written by her grandson, Barry Zito. I'll just read a portion of what he said in the foreword. He said, "I am blown away when I think that I am the grandson of Ann Meyer McKeever. What she channeled through back in 1969 was something that would start a movement of humans to search for the truth. They would slowly question what they had been taught growing up and ask themselves, their inner selves, for answers. You could not even touch on the subject of having an inner self or an inner guidance back then. But now it's become more mainstream. You will enjoy learning what Anne did in her life as much as I enjoy the greatness in my life that has come as a result of it. These spiritual teachings can help the mind, soothe the soul, and bring oneness to a separated world. I hope that you will get as much out of it as Anne intended when she started the teaching. God bless." And it's signed Barry Zito, pitcher of the Oakland A's. And of course, that was back when this book was printed in 2003. And then again, on page 13, she says, "Deep down, I always knew that I was born to fulfill some great special purpose. I entered the world on August 20th, 1916. And from there, she was always interested in the Bible and spiritual teachings, always. She called it her Bible when she was little." And on page 9 and 10, she got the teaching of the inner Christ telepathically through, as I mentioned earlier, the Master Babaji. And she says here, after she had made contact with him in the Russ Auditorium, "After the intermission, we returned to the auditorium. As I sat in my seat again, I noticed that the tall, slim man, who was Babaji, had come down the crowded aisle and was standing there at our row. And she said to herself, now is a good time to study him and find out what he really looks like. He stood very still with his face turned to the left, allowing me to study his face, such a kind, loving face, bearing such a deep, thoughtful expression, one that was almost sad. What was he thinking?" And then she says, "Years later, it came to my mind that he looked sad because he knew what I would have to go through in fulfilling my purpose for living on the earth. He knew. But she had a choice. He gave her a choice. And she said, yes, I'm going to do this." She said, "When I woke up the next morning after the concert, I was a changed person. The strange man was talking to me from within my mind and telling me mysterious and wonderful things. He was giving her the teaching of the inner Christ in bits and pieces. I was aware that a new teaching had been placed into my mind. She thought that that strange man must be the leader of this teaching. And so she looked everywhere for this teaching, and she couldn't find it. And then she realized there's no such teaching on the earth. And it was only in my mind. It was in her mind. And then on page 13 she said, on page 52, she had a Christ teacher that came through her by the name of Puputi. And Puputi, that's difficult to say, was an Egyptian Christ master and would speak in Egyptian through her. And then finally, Puputi spoke through her in English and told her, you're going to give up 3 things. You're going to give up your marriage, your career, and your church. So she was singing as an opera singer. She had quite a beautiful voice. And she was very active as a leader in the Religious Science Church. She was going to give that up. And she gave up her marriage. She was happily married. She gave that up. So that's what a mother does when she wants the best for her children being the world in this case. And so I say, what does your soul agree to do in this lifetime? What's your purpose? What's the Divine Mother telling you? What are you knowing that you have already been doing to fulfill that purpose? Because you are part of the Divine Mother, and the Divine Mother is part of you. And all of those beautiful qualities and more of unconditional love, healing, a listening ear, compassion, unending praise, discipline, respect, values, strength, and understanding, and lots more are all part of us and have never left us and will never leave us. We'll never be alone. So think about that. What is your soul's Divine Mother telling you? Thank you for listening, and thank you, God, for the teaching of the inner Christ.
Wow. Thank you, Jennifer. Beautiful. Good stories of Anne, too, reminding me of that. Well, let's see, now we have the opportunity. You have an envelope in your packet. Oh, yes, let me, if you have found value in today's service, we invite you to assist in supporting this movement, the teaching of the inner Christ, as you are led by visiting our website, www.teachingoftheinnerchrist.org, with your donation. And know that we trust completely in what Jesus the Christ told us in Luke 6, verse 38. Give, and it shall be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put in your lap. For the measure that you use it will be measured back to you. And so we say, thank you, wonderful God, for this opportunity. And for those of us here, if you would